Sleeping Beauty was a 1959 animated fantasy film that was produced and aired by Disney. It was one of the most original Disney princess movies, and was basically about an evil fairy who cursed the princess to die from pricking her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel on her 16th birthday. It featured fairy tale characters like Maleficent, Flora and Fauna, and few others that I want us to remember. We are also going to remember each and every voice actor who took part in voicing the characters, and only one of them is still alive in 2025. And we shall begin with Briar Rose, who is commonly recognized as Princess Aurora. She was the daughter of King Stefan and Queen Leah, and was the princess who was cursed by Maleficent to pass away after pricking her finger on her 16th birthday. But with the help of the king's 3 fairies, the curse was altered in such a way that she would not necessarily pass away but instead fall into a deep sleep until true love's kiss from a prince would awake her. This princess was the 3rd Disney princess to be made, and she is still one of the greatest characters ever. She was a graceful and a very kind lady who was loved by all people and even animals in the forest, and since she was still very young, she loved playing around as a carefree woman, and the 3 good fairies were tasked in looking after her and protecting her from the evil Maleficent. She was a princess voiced by Mary Costa, who is now a retired American actress and singer. She voiced Aurora when she was only 22 years old, and this role opened doors for her career that survived for decades. She is also the last surviving voice actress of the 3 original princesses and was named a Disney Legend in 1999. Maleficent was the main villain in this film. She was a very powerful evil fairy who got offended for not getting invited to baby Aurora's birth celebration. She then cursed the baby into demise on her 16th birthday after getting pricked on her finger by a spinning wheel. She was also the archenemy of the 3 good fairies who we shall discuss later, and the main reason she had not yet taken the whole kingdom for herself was because of the 3 good fairies, who always united to counter her powerful magic and powers. She was very wicked and ruthless, and was known to cause pain and suffering to everyone she didn't like. We can also say that she was emotionally unstable, because how can a grown woman spend 16 years of her life chasing after a baby just to get a petty revenge? She was voiced by the late Eleanor Audley, who was an American film and stage actress. She appeared in very many movies in the 1920s to 1980s, and we also remember her for voicing Lady Tremaine in Cinderella of 1950. She sadly passed away on the 25th of November, 1991 at the age of 86 years. Her cause of demise was from respiratory failure. The 3 good fairies included Merryweather, Flora, and Fauna. They also acted as Aurora's fairy godmothers and guardians, and they were the ones responsible of countering Maleficent's evil with good. They dressed in the medieval clothes, and each was characterized with a certain color. Flora was the one in the red color, and she was the leader of the 3. She was also the bravest and the most determined during missions, and her magic mostly dealt with flowers and nature. Fauna was the one dressed in green. She was the second in command after Flora, and was mostly known for her absent-mindedness and her oblivious nature. She was also the quietest and the most introspective of the 3. And the 3rd one was Merryweather, who always wore blue. She was the most feisty and pessimistic of the 3, and her careless personality was what made her the 3rd in command to the trio. She challenged Flora for the commanding position but always failed due to her lack of character. But they all loved each other nevertheless. These 3 fairies always looked after the whole kingdom, and they were the ones responsible for acting as the defense to magic attacks. They were also the guardians and protectors to Aurora, and they always made sure that she lived a very healthy and normal life. Merryweather was voiced by Barbara Luddy, who was an American actress and an employee of Disney from the 50s to the 70s. She was the original voice of Kanga in the first Winnie the Pooh movies, and was also the voice of Lady in Lady and the Tramp. She had 2 children during her early years, and she passed away on April Fool's Day of 1979 at the age of 70. She succumbed from lung cancer. Fauna was voiced by Barbara Jo Allen, who was also an American actress back in the day. She also voiced the scullery maid from The Sword in the Stone of 1963, and she also had 2 children just like Barbara Luddy. She passed away on September 14, 1974 at the age of 68, and she now has 2 stars in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Prince Philip was the son of a king called Hubert, and he was betrothed to Princess Aurora as a way of uniting both kingdoms as allies. After he grew up, he became a brave and heroic prince who was also very easygoing with the people of both kingdoms. And after getting abducted by Maleficent, he escaped her castle in order to save the whole realm from an endless sleeping curse that was laid by the evil fairy. His bravery was seen when he fought the goons and also defeated the dragon on his way out of the castle. His voice came from Bill Shirley, who was an American actor and baritone singer. He passed away on the 27th of August, 1989 from complications of lung cancer at the age of 68 years. King Stefan was the father of Princess Aurora and the husband of Queen Leah. After he decided not to invite Maleficent to Aurora's christening, she cursed the princess to pass from prickling her finger on a spinning wheel spindle. The king then decided to spend the rest of his years in eliminating any spindles from the kingdom in order to fight the curse and prevent its fulfillment. He was a humble leader who was fairly loved by his people, and the 3 good fairies were also his loyal subjects who promised to take good care of Aurora away from Maleficent's grip. He was voiced by Taylor Holmes, an American actor who had a successful career for more than 5 good decades. 8 months after the release of Sleeping Beauty, Holmes passed away at the age of 81 years and was buried in Culver City's Holy Cross Cemetery. Aurora's mother was Queen Leah. She was not seen as much and was just supporting King Stefan in taking care of their little Aurora. In her appearances, she was seen to be a very caring and loving mother to Aurora and also a loyal wife to the king. Both her and Flora were voiced by Verna Felton, who was an American voice actress that also voiced the fairy godmother and the Queen of Hearts in Disney. Other voices she did were in Dumbo of 1941, where she voiced Mrs. Jumbo, and also the voice of Aunt Sarah in Lady and the Tramp of 1955. She had 1 child, and she passed away on December 14, 1966, which was 1 day before Walt Disney passed away. Her cause of demise was from a stroke. King Hubert was the best friend of King Stefan, and he was the father of Prince Philip. He was one of the happiest characters in the film, and he was seen when he visited King Stefan to discuss the future of both kingdoms through the marriage of their children. His wife passed away sometime before the beginning of the film, and he raised his son as a single father and leader. He truly cared for Philip, and that's why he wanted him to get married to the future queen of their neighboring kingdom. He was an obese man, and his voice came from the late Bill Thompson, who was an American radio personality and voice actor. He was also an esteemed comedian in his first years, and he voiced Droopy in the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer cartoon studio from 1943 to 1958. His days on Earth came to an end on the 15th of July, 1971 at the young age of 58 years. Lord Duke was just a minor character in the film, and he was one of King Stefan's servants who worked as his grand majordomo and the head messenger of the kingdom. Voiced by Hans Conried, who was an American actor and comedian and a legend in Disney Studios. He was the original voice of both George Darling and Captain Hook in Peter Pan of 1953. He was married in 1942 and had 4 children, but his long history of heart problems led to his demise on January 5, 1982 at the age of 64 years. His body was donated to medical science later on. And finally, we shall look at an owl who was not named in the film. He appeared with other animals in the forest to befriend Aurora, and he was just heard 3 times in the scenes. Diablo, on the other hand, was Maleficent's pet raven and accomplice. Just like his mistress, Diablo was very sinister and diligent, and he always appeared everywhere Maleficent went. He rested on the top of her staff, and he was used as the messenger and spy of Maleficent. These 2 birds were voiced by Dal McKennon, who was once an American actor. You'd best remember him as the original Buzz Buzzard in the Woody Woodpecker cartoons. He passed away on July 14, 2009 from natural causes at the age of 89 years.